look at the fact that they are leaving their families behind. Maybe the male, between, if I'm not wrong, certain males between certain age were not permitted to move out of Ukraine, and they are fighting this war. So once this war is over, even they will join their families. Okay, so a very interesting, not interesting, is a very sad situation that's currently, and very unexpected situation that's currently enveloped the world, is really speaking, this Ukraine and Russia conflict and the war, ensuing war. So it has clearly it's brought in very different dimensions to the mobility part. Uh, uh, Before we move forward into the reaction from the current situation, we must first of all go into why immigration is required. Immigration is mostly required. Majority of these EU countries, which are doing well, be it Germany, France, or Italy, or Spain. So all these countries have major demographic deficits. That means they have more people aging than the young people who are joining the workforce. So they had those challenges. Uh, where this and it's just very sad that it took a war to fill up this deficit. But when you say 2.5 or 3 million people have moved out as refugees, that's actually speaking, if you look at it, try to look behind look at the fact that they are leaving their families behind. Maybe the male, between, if I'm not wrong, certain males between certain age were not permitted to move out of Ukraine, and they are fighting this war. So once this war is over, even they will join their families. So this number could reach, very sadly, 4 to 5 million people. Now, where are they going to be? So in terms of the impact on immigration, what is going to happen is that the EU member countries are going to be beneficiary, actually speaking, are going to be sudden and unexpected beneficiary of this particular movement. And they would like to, in due course, retain this particular movement, because the way we see the damage that's happening across the country, it's not clear whether even those who have moved out may be willing to move back to the country very soon. So I would put it this way: for the EU as a whole, I think this is a very tragically it happened because of a tragic event. But in terms of immigration, and for EU to address their demographic deficit, this is going to be a positive addition to their workforce. Not now only. Keep in mind, see, demographics always move not only with the ones who are joining the workforce now. Demographics is always a long-term planning. So you have these families moving with kids. So these kids, after 10 to 12, 15 years, once they grow, they'll also join the workforce of these countries. So it has a very long-term impact in terms of demographics for all these EU member countries who are right now accepting them as refugees. That's one, and it's very tragic that it happens because of this unfortunate war. And second is this, that in terms of countries globally, otherwise, Canada, USA, Australia, they will have a limited inflow of these the citizens from Ukraine, but still they will have limited inflow. But that limited inflow, considering the population that they have, will also make significant impact. So for one area where it's not going to impact in any way, in fact, more and more these countries are going to need, is investors and businessmen who will actually speaking go there and settle down as it doesn't matter whether it's EU country or not a North American country or a Pacific country, all of them, because there's a lot of cost that goes into supporting the refugees. So there's a cost of lot of cost that goes into providing them jobs and opportunities. So to support all that expense, they definitely will need HNIs and entrepreneurs and investors who can go and invest in their economies, and the startups who can go with new technology ideas and create employment opportunities. So I see two diverse areas happening. The skilled professionals will continue to be in upswing. The trades people who are otherwise getting more opportunities from countries like India and Philippines, they may face a little bit of competition from this movement that's happening, because majority of these Ukrainians, they are excellent, very good in trades. They're very good in trades, of different kinds. But as far as high-end skilled professionals are concerned, because they do have language issue, so they are not as good in English language as Indians are. So all the major countries which are accepting immigrants are mostly English-speaking countries. So they might not be able to replace the unfortunate refugees, as we call them. Nobody should be a refugee ever in one's life. Uh, so they will not be able to replace the requirements of all these English-speaking countries, be it UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, USA, Ireland, Malta. It doesn't matter which country you talk about. They will not be able to replace the skilled professionals that form the bulk of immigrants out of India, because they're good in English speaking. And definitely, they're not going to replace the entrepreneurs, HNIs, and startups that are moving out of India to any of these countries.